Ashley told me about this poetry slam. He told me that the theme was bridging the gap, and that it was also about suicide awareness. That really hit home for me because one of my really close friends, her mother was a teacher in this district, and she committed suicide this past Christmas. And I remember calling up my friend as soon as I heard the news, and I think all I heard was silence on the other end of the phone. And she's usually a really happy, giddy person, she's hilarious, and there was just silence. And a couple years before that, I also remember the silence that walked the halls when I went to school for the first time after one of my dear counselors had killed himself. So when Ashley asked me to write this poem, I was like, yeah, I want to do it. But how the hell am I going to do it? So this poem is called Don't Shoot the Messenger. We live in a world where we give our youth 12 free years of education, but we never teach them to love themselves. I guess we're not getting this education for free, because the cost is hanging our students by the noose we call a GPA so that they can break their bones and dreams. Society thinks that's okay. But try telling my mother it's okay that I cut my skin instead of class because I can hide my scars under a long sleeve shirt, but I cannot hide an unexcused absence from a college scout. Try telling every transgender teen that it's okay if they have to swallow the wrong pronouns because they can use gender roles as a chaser until they're as intoxicated in self-hatred as an alcoholic is in Jack Daniels. Try telling my best friend that it's okay if she loses her virginity to a guy that doesn't give a damn about her, as long as she doesn't lose his attention to a one-night stand sugar-coated in Netflix and chill. So now my friend starves herself, like her boyfriend starved her of her worth, until her thigh gap was wide enough to consume all of his disrespect. And then she allowed him to eat out all of her insecurities, until her figure resembled the hourglass that measured the time she had before she became ashes on the ground, or swimming in depression about to drown because she's choking on the sound of the judgment in this town that makes her mind shut down and her mother attend her funeral in a black gown. No one realizes the message they've been sending these kids until these kids send out their last text message. See, my friends have decided that fitting into a casket is a lot easier than fitting in at school. I know this is because society has a tendency to ignore suicidal tendencies by burying our youth 6 feet below their parents' standards, 6 feet below the state standards, 6 feet below their own standards, until their bodies are forced into decomposition by the anxiety their lives gave them. We live in a world where we give our youth 12 free years of education, but we never teach them to love themselves, to love themselves. Woo!